I'm ranking every fruit and Blox fruits from the worst to the best. Since I've reached 30 million bounty, I've beaten some of Blox fruit's best players, from Fur999 to my boy Rip Guy, and even a Blox fruit admin. I can now say that this tier list is official. For the tiers, we have S at God, A for great, B for good but depends on the player, C for okay, and then the F, straight booty. And this list is based on PvP only. Let's begin. And for our first fruit, we start with the diamond, pure uselessness. Now this fruit is literally used for nothing. The first move's encrust. All you do is go hard. I don't even know if it works. I got my girl hitting me right now, not from the back. But as you see, a couple punches take me down to 10,000 health. When I take off encrust, those same 3 punches barely save nothing. 100 HP. Next, we got Pokemon moves like Beaming Tackle, Diamond Hail, and Solar Flare. You can't even see what this does. But in a real fight, the chance of landing any of these, your opponent just gotta not be playing. Looking at imFiji's POV. From this POV, Solar Flare blinds you for like a decent second. But if you want any chance of winning with this fruit, your chances are slim. Diamond goes right in booty. But I can say it's not the worst, because next up, we got the legendary Rocket Fruit. Although looks amazing and blasts off at times against the moving target. Moves like Missile Fist, Air Strike, and even Rocket Crash. They look good, but not good enough. The damage is minimal. They have no combo potential. And in my entire life, I probably landed a Missile Fist in the air one time. If they're in the air, good luck. Rocket, I love you, but I'm not trying to lose. You're worse than Diamond. But don't worry, there's hope, because the next fruit we got is the Spin Fruit. And although bad, with the right weapon and in the hands of the right player, you can do things like this. Suck them in, Razor Wind, Tornado Assault, Air Slicing Slash. Half the HP, 0 chance of landing any moves after Razor Wind. It's bad, but at least you can combo something. You just gotta run and hope you keep getting those 2 moves back. Because this, Tornado Assault, this ain't gonna do nothing. But even so, I will put Spin above these 2. Now, I'm about to get controversial, because the Magma Fruit is next. Although for leveling, this fruit is amazing. And especially if a player stands still. You can do things like this, Magma Shower, Magma Eruption, Greyhound, a player dies. But they have to be standing on the ground in the same spot. As soon as you come across anybody who could think, someone who can go back and forth, just like this, Magma quickly becomes useless. I'm sorry to say it. Although powerful, but standing in the face of real 30 mil players. Check this. You can pull him in, you can do combos. Look, 4,000 damage. I hit him for 1 tick. Let me try again. He's dodging. Hold on. Volcanic Assault. He's dodging. Greyhound. He's just running. He's not even dashing. This is tough. This is tough. I can't hit him. I can't hit him. What am I going to do? Hold on. Hold him still. Soul Guitar. Punch him. Even with the Soul Guitar holding them still, they have enough time to walk out the punches. I have a Frost Blessing on my Soul Guitar. For that reason, although not booty, Magma will be the first fruit in okay. But surprisingly, what fruit I actually think is better is the Smoke Fruit itself. Oh, y'all think I'm not serious. You see, the moves are Smoke Slam, Smoke Liberation, and even Smoke Blast. But did you see what's happening? 2 of those 3 moves actually held a player still, leaving room for crazy combo potential. 30 mil player, Smoke Blast, Smoke Liberation. When fast enough, I just did 4,000 damage. Then you can actually lead into different combos. Smoke Slam again, and then you get Smoke Blast back. Like, all these moves could actually lead into something. Keep landing Smoke Liberation, 10,000 damage. He's 30 mil. He's running. He's running for life. The combo potential is actually there. The fruit's pretty weak, though, so it's definitely better than booty. But for now, Smoke stays in okay until we get an awakening. But to get back into the not so good, we have Spring. Now, this is one of the only fruits I don't have permanent, but its best trait is the Spring Leap. You actually get the ability to move around pretty quick. You have the move Knock, Spring Snipe, Spring Cannon, and if you bring them in, Spring Emperor, it really does nothing. But the movement's good enough to land other things. You can use it for sword combos. You can jump up. He's in the air, Spring Snipe, get a little closer to him. He can still outrun me. It's still Spring at the end of the day. But that right there is a Portal user. And if I could somewhat keep up with him, it could somewhat be good, but you'll really be relying on other things, like fruit and sword. Keep in mind though, for this tier list, you have to be a fruit main, unless it's Portal fruit, of course. But for Spring, okay? No. It's going in booty. Right there. And I even used this fruit to beat admin who's off. Matter of fact, yeah, top of F. That was only until we were introduced to the Chop. Now, the fruits before you'll usually never see in PvP, but Chop, you actually do. It's not for the moves like Tackle, Dance Party, or even Helicopter. helicopter. Although those moves can kind of work, it's mainly used for the passive. You actually can't hit a chop user with a sword. Very can into One Piece. And there's a lot of sword mains of Blox Fruits because there's a lot of portal mains. But if there ever was gonna be a counter, this is it. But it doesn't counter much. You have no aerial mobility. You just have to run on the ground. And if you don't have the mink race, you're kind of just a sitting duck. You're gonna get cooked by other fruits, especially fruit mains. Against a fruit main, this fruit, it may be the worst. But since a lot of people are sword mains, I'll have to put Chop right above Spring. Next up, the barrier fruit. Belonging to Bartolomeo for One Piece. This fruit's moves are barrier wall, surprise attack. That's not so much of a surprise. Barrier prison. You can kind of combo after it. Barrier towers. It can hold a player still. If you're lucky. It slides them out though. And then we got barrier stairs. The most useless PvP. This fruit could be useful in the hands of the sweatiest 30 mil player ever. But I'm ranking these fruits as if they're in the hands of a regular 30 mil player. A regular 30 mil ain't doing much. We're gonna put it at the top of booty. And with that, the booty tier is complete. It only gets better from here. The next fruit we got is Ghost. Now, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the most underrated fruits in the game. The moves go like this. Shivering Possession, Little Blast to the player doing 1800. Spectral Release, Cries Underworld, which you can combo. Wandering Soul for movement. Like, look, this is actually pretty fast. This could be useful. Gets you up in the air, and you can kind of reset. And then the best move, why this fruit is actually pretty good, is Ghostbusters. A move that spawns in 2 more of you. Now, why this fruit's good is, as you can see, my Ghostbusters attack. And they don't just have 1. When I use moves like Shivering Possession, it does 3 of them. Spectral Release, 3 blasts, and even Cries of Underworld. Look, it's holding him still. All 3 of my ghosts hit him. It's a passive that people don't take note of. And if I'm getting jumped, these clones may take the hits for me. Look, he has to fight them and kill them. While he's fighting them and killing them, I can get off combos like this. Cries of Underworld. The combo potential exists. One of the most underrated fruits, but keep in mind the tier list. I labeled this good, but depends. Because in the hands of a very, very good player, it's a very good fruit. In the hands of the average 30 mil, it may not be so good. But we have our first B tier good fruit. And speaking of good, it gets better. Because next up, we got the life fruit. One of the best fruits in the game. Now the light is beautiful because it has moves like Divine Arrow, Insta Snipe, Hand of Emperor. Used to hold people still and start combos. Lightspeed Destroyer, a combo starter that sends them straight down. Any move that sends a player straight down could be used for anything. Like throwing out more Divine Arrows, sucking them back up, and even Light's best trait. Wrath of God. And then you hold him still while you do it. Look at that. 1 basic combo. Nothing else needed. 30 mil player, 70% HP God. Now, when paired up a weapon and a fighting style, this is amazing. Because as soon as you start a combo with Sanguine, say they pop away, look what you can do. Look at the combo potential. There's better weapons to use for it. Like Spiky Trident, pull him back up, suck him down, hold him. Like, you can slide somewhat out the moves, but overall, they are quite devastating. And for that, Light is our first fruit in the great tier. You thought I'd leave out a God tier one? Next up is what I used to deem literally the best fighting fruit in all of Blox Fruits. And it's a mythical called the Spirit. Now, there was a time Spirit Fruit dominated the game because there was a glitch that allowed you to go very, very fast. But even in regular gameplay, before people knew how to escape, as soon as you landed any Spirit move, they all led to possible other combos, like using the V move, doing more damage. Look, he's dead. I can do any move when he dies. But the moves were Frost Grip, Wrath of Ra, Shu, the best move that freezes, and the times a beam that holds them still and has AoE, and Sky Ruler, not so useful, but Spirit's passive is. You see this bar on the right here? The more you click on the blue, the chances you get the heal and the chances you get to go faster. Look at this, I got a speed buff. The more I click on the red, you have things that attack, like the frog that holds them still, and if a frog holds them still, it leads into any combo. There's no escaping this. That's what I would say. But people did figure out there is one way to get out, and it's called Ken tricking. There is some point people realized that you can actually get out of End of Times. As you see, I exploded him. And even when telling him the Ken trick, it's difficult. But once you figure it out, it's possible. I missed. It's not so easy. For that reason, this fruit remains the best in the game. Players may have found the answer, but it really doesn't matter. Spirit and God tier, there's still so many other moves you could use, even if he manages to get out of one. And the amount of time it takes to bring back the freeze move, that gives you a guaranteed combo literally out of anything. This fruit is devastating. And now that we at least have a fruit in each tier, let's get back to where we were. You may not believe this, but the bomb fruit is actually pretty good. The moves are targeted bomb, that lets you shoot somebody in place. Bomb grab, which actually could be used to combo. Landmines could keep you safe if you get them off. You have to stay in this little area. But the main reason why bomb's somewhat decent is this feature right here. When actually using this fruit, you can pull things off like this. Slam him down, self-destruct. 9,000 damage. Bomb grab isn't too hard to land because it's somewhat auto tracks. And if you're able to somewhat land moves, you can kind of make it work. Bomb grab, explosion. Also, bomb leap isn't too bad. Gets you in the air, gets you out of there. Bomb fruit goes the bottom of C. And next up, we got a sleeper pick, the falcon fruit. I know. But hear me out. With the right sword, if you use your move like plummet, you get your wings out. Moves like wind burst, bone crusher, and most importantly, soaring talon. Look at that. That bone crusher put him right in front, and soaring talon finished it off. So check this out. Segweed leads him to bone crusher, soaring talon, wind burst him. It doesn't do much damage, but the movement's kinda there. The combo potential's there. And for that, Falcon goes at the top of okay. Next up, we got the rubber fruit. Always gotta keep it on you. This is one of those fruits that I want to be so good, so bad, but sadly, it's very, very, very average. When you're not in Gear Secondo, moves like Cannon, Smash, and even Base Form Rush can be pretty difficult to land, and they're not very impactful. 3,000 damage. He was literally healing as I was hitting him. But it does get a little better when you awaken. You can start combos with your fruit. Bring them back in. Then with rubber, you hit this barrage. If you're able to land combos like that, as you can see, he about to die. But no matter how good the player is, you're probably still gonna lose, bucko. So for that, we put in rubber at the top of okay. Next up, we have a fruit that doesn't need much words, but it needs an awakening. The gravity. This fruit has 5 moves. Gravity push, gravity obeisance, meteor pitch, and meteor rain. Even aiming directly at my target, I literally do no damage. But this fruit has one reason to use it. When paired up with the gravity obeisance move, you can actually get out different combos that could do pretty good, but you have to land the X move. It's a fruit I would put in the good tier, but with a move like boulder flight as your movement move, anyone in the world's gonna catch you. And if you're just running on the ground like this, you're really just a sitting duck. Now it has the combos. It goes right beside rubber. It's the same thing, but you know what? Rubber's got a little more movement. But speaking of movement, let's get this out the way. The mythical leopard fruit, a fruit that used to dominate the last update. It gives you moves like figure revolver, spiraling kick, after image assault, and body flicker. As you see, 0 of those moves combo. There's not one. But the fruit also has M1s. Used to literally spam. The most you can get off is something like this. Does decent damage, and the rest of your gameplay is running around and spamming. In the hands of the most annoying player in the world, this fruit is actually really good. But in the hands of your average leopard player, as you see, they don't exist anymore. When's the last time you seen a leopard? There's clearly a reason. In a combo-heavy game like Blox fruits, combos are needed. So leopard goes to the top of good. Now, these next 2 fruits are very similar for one reason, and I'm talking about the venom fruit and the phoenix. Now, starting with venom, it used to be used a lot, but as time went on, it almost vanished. The reason is because of the moves. Moves like poison dagger look good. Noxus shot, toxic fog, and even serpent's wrath. They can all somewhat do something, but I hit him with all my moves and did 5,800 damage. The problem? There's no combo. None of these moves combo. Poison daggers don't do nothing. Toxic, look at this. Look at this. You can just run away. This fruit can only be great in the hands of a very good venom player. And since this fruit needs a really good player, we're gonna have to put it in the depends category. And the same thing also goes for Phoenix. Now, like Venom, they both have transformations, but you're not typically using this in a PvP setting. You're not really gonna do nothing. But unlike Venom, you see what I just did? Phoenix has an M1 move that actually gives you some movement, and it doesn't attack if you're able to land it. A free 1,000 damage isn't bad, but Phoenix moves are Creation Cannon, Blue Flames to get health, the best move, Flame Exodus, your literal only combo move, and then the transformation. In base form, Swift Flight doesn't do anything but gives you wing. But because of the movement options, if you're able to land something like this Phoenix move you see here, it at least has a combo. So like Venom, Phoenix goes in the depends category. They both need really good players, and then they would be great. But now let's finish up the okay tier, and we start with Blizzard. Now this is one of the newest fruits added to the game, and honestly I really like it. With moves like Snowflake Shuriken, Whiteout, Howling Wind, and the best move, Blizzard Domain. If you're able to keep players in this domain, it's a very good fruit. But similar to a fruit I haven't talked about yet, Control, if they're able to leave the domain, it doesn't really do nothing. The combo potential is also pretty low. Like, I could do something. You saw that? I could do something. But all those moves you just saw, unfortunately, are Kentrickable. I'm sorry. I really like Blizzard, but for the reason of the counter combos, it goes at the top of okay. But next is every noob's favorite fruit, the PvP master, the Buddha fruit. Now, as for the fruit itself, you can't use any of the moves unless you're in full Buddha form. But you got things like Heavenly Impact that explodes, Light of Annihilation, even Twins of the Light Gods. Noobs love using this. The fruit moves are pretty useless, and Buddha is known for one thing, M1 spam. Because of this one feature, I've seen the worst players in the world take down people that weren't suspecting this to happen. But as you see, this is a real 30 mil player right here. He's just gonna keep hitting me away. He's gonna keep running until he can get a combo off. If he doesn't, he dies. It doesn't matter how good the player is with the Buddha fruit, your job is to spam. But against anyone that knows a combo, anyone that knows how to run away, and anyone that's looking at you, the Buddha fruit's amazing. S tier, psych. It belongs at the top of OK, just because it takes 0 brain cells whatsoever. And that right there completes the OK tier. But I think it's time we talk about another great fruit. And I'm talking about the power of love. Now, when it comes to the love fruit, you have moves like Heart Shot, Cupid Zone, Irresistible Attraction, and your main one, Best Friend though. Love also has a fly move. That's pretty good for movement. But why this fruit's good? Because any player that knows how to use the love fruit, they know that's a hard fruit to fight. Even when players move side to side, Best Friend tracks. Even when moving at top speed, the C move starts combos. And look at this. I hit it one time, and against the fastest 30 mil player, he even gets hit. Now, love isn't known for its greatest combo potential, but the combos do exist. Some like any combo starter. Into the C move, into holding them still. Just like that, I did 9,800 damage. This fruit is very, very good. For that reason, it goes in great. Next up, we got some sleeper fruits. Starting with the Mythical Shadow. You see, Shadow's only good for one thing, but that one thing is all that matters. The V move, Corvus Torment. If you're able to get a player somewhat near you and explode in his face, you can use moves like Somber Rebellion, you could use Shade's Nest, you could use Nightmare Leech. All could be used in a combo if you act fast enough, and it's enough to kill any player. Take a look at this. Here's a combo. Shade's Nest, Leech. They can run and can out, but by that time, you've done enough damage and you're able to track them again. That's Shadow's weakness though. All that Shadow, and you could still get out of it. Against the regular player, it's a 0 to death every time. Against a 30 mil, they will get out, but you could do enough damage in the meantime, especially when you got Sanguine. My boy's doing the combo on me, and boy, is it devastating. In the hands of a normal player, the fruit's pretty good. In the hands of a very good player, it's great. But since you need a very good player, it goes in the top of good. Another fruit that needs a really good player is none other than Whitebeard's Quake. Again, these are the sleeper fruits. But even in Awaken, Quake only has 4 moves. But these 4 moves are devastating. And that's because Fatal Demolisher, the first one, brings the player right into you, guaranteeing you a somewhat way to follow up a combo. If you pair it up with moves like Sea Quake, bring the player in, Spatial Shockwave does a lot of damage. Players will get like halved every time. And bro, I've seen some devastating Quake users that know some sort of magic that I can't even pull off myself. Something like Sea Quake followed by Sanguine moves. If you can pull these off, shoot them away, bring them back in. Air Crusher, like bro, there are Quake combos out there. Average 30 mil, no. Great player, yes. Shadow may still be a little better, but I have seen some very good Quake users. I'm gonna put it at the top of the B tier, but it's time to get into the combos. First up, Pain. Now, the fruit itself has moves like Heavy Pain, Pain Barrage, Pain Nuke. But the bread and butter and what makes this fruit so good is this move called Torture. When you use the move, it looks like this. What the opponent sees is none other than a black screen, making it very hard to fight back. But when it comes to the combos, bro, if you can land something, like, bro, I didn't even use all the moves. I still got moves. 2 moves, the combo potential alone puts this fruit above all the other B tier fruits. I'd seen some really good Pain users. Oh, and you do got a mobility move as well. But what lacks just a little bit is a fruit like Spider. Now the moves go as follow. Thermal Laceration, Silk Prison, Overheated Sniper, which is the unawakened move, but it's used by many people, and Heavenly Punishment. Big move that when landed could allow you some crazy combos that take out players instantly. Now, you're not going to come across a lot of Spider players, even 30 mils. There's not going to be a lot of them. If you're able to hold players still, use moves that keep them in place, Silk Prison could come back just in time for you to keep following it up. The cooldowns are fast, the fruit's good. The one issue is that it can't really get out of combos. The mobility move, when you're just floating around like this is okay. But I would put this fruit higher. If it could somewhat escape combos, like this is it. Like, you only got your Ken. If you don't got your Ken, you could die to a control player. Imagine that. No other move's gonna get you out the combo. For that reason, very good player, good. But if not, you're dead. No, get me out of here. Oh, fruit detected. And whatever the fruit is what we rate next. And it's none other than sand. Oh, I'm about to love this. I hate to say it, but sand fruit to me is one of the best fruits in the game. Check this out. Every move combos. From moves like Desert Blade, Holds them still. You see that? Combo. Sand combo. Holds the player still, brings them up. Then you can sand tornado. Holds them still, brings them up. Then you can get other moves out. The second they touch the floor, desert blade. The second they run away, deep sand. And oh, are they still alive? No. A good sand player, like, look at this. There's nothing you could do but hold a full entire combo to your face every time. This fruit is literally the most underrated fruit in all of Blox fruits. If you ever wanted a sleeper fruit to pick up to destroy all your friends with, the top 30 millions in the world, use the sand fruit. For that reason, oh yeah, y'all see this? Y'all see this? Top of A tier. That's where I'm putting sand. And it's not moving. Next is Spike. Now, I said booty was done, but I lied. With moves like Spike Summon, Whirlwind, Spiky Ball. I hit him with everything. Everything. Any of these moves is impossible. Oh no, maybe you could do some sort of spike combo with the moves you have, but I'm sorry. Very quickly, Spike goes to booty. But I'm not gonna lie, it's not that bad. We'll put it right here. But now, it's time to get serious. The good but depends is not done, because we have fruits like Mammoth and Control. And boy, am I a hater of Control. Now, when it comes to the moves, we have things like Ancient Cutter, True Prehistoric Hunt, which leads into the Colossal Crusher, which can give you other combo starters like your fighting styles. It's a fruit that does a lot of damage, but you don't really see it. The issue, the movement. Yes, you have moves like Stampede, but it's a move you gotta charge up. It goes somewhat of a distance, but the fruit actually really shines in the full Mammoth form. Regular 30 mils may even lose to this Mammoth, but it even has true combos. As you can see, 7,000 my damage is done, and I think almost all those moves break head. In full form, the fruit also has M1s, and it's also able to stampede. I've seen it in tournament maybe once, and he made it to the finals. So depending on the player, Mammoth could actually be pretty good. But you know what's not pretty good? Okay, hold on, let me not judge. The Control fruit. We were promised a rework on this fruit, and boy, does it need it the most. Now, to do any sort of moves, first you must open up the arena. The reason I hate on this fruit so much is because if this arena opens and you're fighting a Control player, watch this. Now I'm in, now I'm not. The second I leave, the controller he can't do nothing no more. He's used to, look, he's standing in there waiting for me. He's like, please come in. Please, I want to fight. He has to open up his room. And see, when he opens up his room, that leaves a chance for a potential combo. There's space in between that room opening that you can really lose a lot of your HP. But for every person that hates on Control, take a look at this. There are Control combos that exist. Although extremely hard to pull off. This is what one of them looks like. Using moves like Echo Knife, you're able to follow this up with certain abilities. If you use Sanguine Art in the air, maybe you can Gamma Rush him. Look, it just broke my game. The fruit broke my game. Oh my gosh, bro, this makes me sick. But the fruit gives you access to moves like Levitate, which throws a rock, Gamma Rush, which looks like this. You can also follow it up too. I don't know how. I've never lost to a Control player in my life, but in the hands of a very good Control player, no exception. They have to be a GOAT. You can do a one-shot combo like you just saw. But realistically, if you ever fight a Control player, just leave the room and do this. What's it gonna do? Fight back? Oh, I'm in the room. Oh, I'm out the room. I know there's a Control elitist out there. hey, it's going in the bottom of B. I'm sorry, but only in the hands of a god is that fruit good. Speaking of good, let's wrap it up. And the last fruit we got is none other than the flame fruit. Now, I've only seen it once in my life, but in the hands of a god, this fruit is on a whole new level. The moves are Blue Fire Bullets, Prominence Burst, Flame Vortex, which leads to combos, Hell's Core, just like Rumble, you have a Spirit Bomb that leads to combos. And if you know how to use this fruit, I've seen some insane combos. Like what I'm doing right here is nothing to what a flame player could do. Starting the combo with the fruit is pretty difficult, but as you can see, once you do start the combo and land it, like he's got Yama to start. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. Oh, it makes me, oh, I feel away on the inside. I'm sorry, but flame is one of the best fruits in the game. In the hands of a god. It's the best depends fruit. Oh yeah, and it's got a fly move. Look at the speed. Now the booty, okay, and good tiers are all complete, which means all we have left is the great tier and the god tier. And since we haven't talked about god tier in a while, coming up is the T-Rex fruit. Now this was the last and most recent fruit to be added to Blox fruits. And the moves go as follows. Tail Swipe, Peace Screech, Hunter's Rage, and Gigantic Leap. Now, you do have a transformation, but in PvP, it's not often used. Although it is useful. When you hit somebody, as you see, the farther you get, the more tick damage they take. So running isn't really an option against the T-Rex, but they do heal. Always remember that. Especially going up against 30 mils. He bro taking damage. Look at that, 5,600. But the transformation isn't where it's at. But what makes this fruit so good is how easy Peace Screech is to land. Even with movement, Giant Leap is a useful move. Although it puts you in one spot, it still lets you have movement. And against air campers, all the previous fruits have a very hard time dealing with them. But T-Rex, if you fly up and someone get near a player, P-Screech. Look at that, already landed. One P-Screech, that's all it took. And almost all his HP is gone. The fact that you can use this against air campers is insane. Land and air. T-Rex is clearly a god tier fruit. And in today's meta, I'll put it right above Spirit. They're about even. But if you want to get into combos, check this out. Introducing every noob's first combo fruit, the ice fruit. Now, if you pair this fruit with something like the gravity cane, you're pretty much guaranteed a 0 to death every time. If you're a PvP player, all of y'all have felt this pain. Sucked in, frozen, iceberg, surge, cold storm. Now, as you can see, you can trick out, but your health is destroyed. If anybody else is around, you're dead. You gotta hope you don't get caught in an ice combo with anyone else around. And although trickable, one more combo will completely take you out the game. Ice's weakness is that it has to stay on the ground. If you can stay in the air, the player's gonna have a hard time pulling off combos. So if they have a gravity cane, just watch out. 0 to death, and because of how brain dead it is, ice is going right after light in the A great tier. But a fruit that's almost as good is none other than Dark itself. Now, pro players often pair this fruit with the Dark Blade, and Dark has a lot of combo potentials. Like if you're able to land the Dimensional Slash, you teleport right to the player, allowing you to follow up. Moves like Abyssal Darkness and Endless Hole can be used to hold players still. You're not really using this fruit at all as a fruit main. Your whole power is gonna be in your sword. Dark itself, as you can see, I have fruit stats in, and this fruit is really, honestly doing nothing. Look at this. Look at this. 1,000 damage. You gotta hold him still. It's tough. But since this is a PvP tier list, the PvP build uses sword stats. Now check this. For Dark, almost any move holds him still. If you start with something like Abyssal Darkness, bring him in, switch to Dark Blade. Use these moves. You can follow it up with your fighting style. Chances of them living are already so low. If they do, they're gonna be very low. And then you have even more moves, like Endless Hole that works in the air to stick them still. Dimensional Slash that lets you TP to the other players. And then if you are able to land the World of Darkness, you basically get a free combo. Also, Dark has a somewhat evasive. The F move gives you a quick little ghastly step and lets you get out of combos. If someone's comboing you, you can trick, ghastly step, you're out. Then you go right back in and you start your combo again. The fruit is very good with sword stats, fruit stats, and overall, it's gotta go in the great tier, right behind ice. Matter of fact, because it works in the air, I'm gonna put it a little higher. But ice is so brain dead. Oh my gosh. Now I know y'all been waiting for the next fruit, the dough fruit. And you may be surprised at what I say. The dough moves are Missile Jab, Pastry River, which has 2 variations. The ground one that holds him still, and the one that shoots him in the air. Dough also has Piercing Clothesline. This is one of the bread and butter moves all Dough players use. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. And then Dough's best move is none other than Dough Fusillade. This move leads to anything. All combos, everything needed. When Dough Awakening first came out, this whole game was devastating. All there was Dough users. And even to this day, the Dough power still exists. Now, sadly, this fruit still remains one of the best in the game because you can start the combo with anything. If you land the Pastry River, you follow it up with Piercing Clothesline. If you have the right sword, you use Yama, bring him back down. Then you can Dough Barrage in his face, line him up perfectly that you don't miss, suck him with the Sanguine. Now me, I'm not a Dough player, but look, I already have the move Pastry River back. I already have the Dough Missile. I already have the C back as soon as that landed, and I still have all my fighting style moves. There's 1,000,001 Dough players that know all the one-shot combos. You can trick out of it. That's the key. If you know how to trick out, you can. As you see, there's CDK Dough combos, but right here, if you trick right at the right time, there's certain moves you can get out of, but you're pretty much guaranteed to catch a full 8,000 damage no matter what. The fruit's cooldowns are too low, and the fruit's still a monster in this game. Dough has a very clear spot in the god tier, and honestly, it's above the 2 that are already there. Now, as a fruit, Dough's amazing, but there are fruits that mess with it, like the Sound Fruit, one of the newer fruits as well, but one of the best fruits. The moves are Rhapsody Notes that you can hit 3 times. Fortissimo pushes them away. Tempo Fortissimo lets you fly, and it also gives you a speed boost, which can be followed up with Glorious Harmony. That does a lot of damage if they don't just walk out of it. But what makes this fruit so good is Symphonic Radiance. This disco ball hits you no matter where you are in the world and auto tracks. Mind you, you could be a far enough distance away, but if you're somewhat nearby, you're getting hit by it, and it breaks Ken. Why the fruit's so good? Check this. If I land the move, as you see, like Symphonic Radiance, he's not able to Ken trick it. As long as the player's somewhat nearby, they have to die. So he's gonna try to escape. But when paired up with something like Gravity Cane, as you can see, there's half his HP. God, nothing he can do about it. Look at that. Nothing. He tried to fight back. But because Symphonic Radiance breaks your Ken, you can get out a full combo free. And if you're able to kill, he's dead. For that reason, Sound goes in the great tier. All of these fruits are ordered so far, and 4 of them remain. Starting with the Dragon Fruit. The moves are Heatwave Beam, Dragonic Claw, Fire Shower, You have a transformation, and you also have Dragon Flight. Now, even though the dragon only has 3 moves, you see, the cooldowns are pretty short. I already got the Heat Wave Beam back and the Dragonic Claw. And when paired up with a fruit, this combo could be quite devastating. He tried to escape. Dragon is by far to me one of the best fruits in the game. The combos are there. You can start it anyway. If you're not trying to combo, you can run, keep your distance, you can Heat Wave. And even mid-fight, the transformation could be very useful because the Heat Wave Beam almost seems like it does more damage. And Dragon Claw gives you a variation. 6,800 damage. Look, I already have the Heat Wave Beam back. Look at this. I got the Dragonic Claw back. Now, you are easy to combo in this form, so I recommend shooting one move and getting out of there as fast as you can. This fruit would be a lot higher. But where it truly struggles is that it can only really get combos off on the ground. Using moves like Heat Wave Beam in the air, it's hard to land. Like Fire Shower is completely useless. Dragonic Claw, if you land that, you could start a combo. But that's basically it. Otherwise, they could just outplay you. They can air camp you. And with the right weapon, the fruit's devastating. A lot of people for the longest time paired it with the Spiky Trident, including myself. But Gravity Cane is much better. It's much better for a lot of fruits. But as to where to put it, it would be a clear god tier fruit. But because it's problem in the air, all these other fruits could kill it immediately, including the sand. So I put it at the top of A. Yeah, I said it. The best sand player is beating the best dragon player. I said it. But there's only 3 fruits that remain. And boy, are they 3 of the best. Coming in with none other than the Rumble fruit. Now, Rumble is one of the most versatile fruits in the game. The moves are Lightning Beast, Thunderstorm, Sky Judgment, Thunderball Destruction. I love the Spirit Bomb. But what makes Rumble so good? You see this F move? Electric Flash. It's the best F move in the game. You get a TP dash, and you get 3 of them. This gets you out of anything. And although Rumble surprisingly isn't usually a fruit main fruit, it's often paired with Sword and even Gun. It could be used for anything in this game. Watch this. TP, TP, speed. Bring them in, get the combo off. They go fly, hold them still. TP, it just allows you too many opportunities. There's too much you could do with this fruit. Bring them in again, Lightning Beast. Here come the lightning combos. He tried to kill me. He died. The moves come out too fast. The moves are too strong. And I believe this is also Winter Cloud's best fruit. Shout out, my boy. If it wasn't for one other fruit, I would say Rumble is the best in the game. And the main reason is these dashes and the ability to hold your opponent still. For that reason, Rumble is clearly deemed our best fruit so far. But I did say there's a fruit better. And next up, say hello to Blox Fruits Kitsune. Now, currently there's a list of what the top fruits in the game are. And this is a clear top 3. The moves are a cursed enchantment. Doesn't do any damage at first, but it hits them after. Tails of Agony, which holds players still. It leads in the Foxfire Disruption, the best Kitsune move, Wild Assault, and even the transformation is useful. Literally a 2.5 million player could transform into Kitsune Dog and get kills just like this. Even up against a 30 mil. It's brain dead. You don't have to do nothing. But the top tier Kitsune players often pair this fruit with either the Spiky Trident or the Dragon Trident. Dragon Trident holds players still, allowing you to start combos. Now, as soon as you land the Foxfire Disruption, the Kitsune madness starts. Every move after every move follows up. Literally every move is a combo move. It's not even fair. Paired with the Dragon Trident, this fruit is devastating. The transformation is usable. I ain't gonna lie, boys, you know where this is going. Right behind Rumble, because the best Rumble player will still beat the best Kitsune player. I promise you. Kitsune may be literally the best ground fruit in the whole entire game. But like I said, it could do well in the air. But if they air camp you, then it could be a big problem. But only against the top 2 fruits. And if Rumble's number 2, you heard it here first. The number 1 fruit, I believe, in all of Blox Fruits PvP is none other than my personal favorite, the Portal Fruit. You heard me. This fruit is the best in Blox Fruits. And it's not because the fruit does damage. It literally does nothing. The moves are Portal Dash, Parallel Escape, World Warp, which lets you teleport somewhere on the map, Quantum Leap, similar to the Rumble TP move, but you only get 1, and Dimensional Rift. It's not a move you usually use, but there are portal spammers. Not the best portal users, but a lot of them spam V. If you get somebody in your domain, as you see, my boy's right there. If you exit out before them, you do something like the Sogatar, they're guaranteed to land in a combo. Then you can follow it up with all your fighting style, your sword moves, all of the above. And that right there makes for a dead player. Now, why the portal's so good is for 2 reasons. The ability to start combos and the ability to end combos. As you see, I'm in a combo right here, a Kitsune combo. And not only do I have Kentrick, as a portal player, if you land the Z move, the other player should be pretty much dead. It holds them in spot, allowing you to do anything to their body. Anything. I'm talking blasts, beatdowns, sanguines, portals, anything you want to throw at them, they'll get hit by it. All you got to do is jump up twice. Now, although the Z move could be hard to land when someone's just bouncing around like this, that's why when paired up with things like Sogatar, it allows you to start the combo. The portal teleport moves stuns them. You just see the stun? That allows you to start combos. And then even if you're using a weapon of some sort, you can also use the weapon to start a combo. Like I said, you land the Z, they die. Now, the other best part about Portal, here's a Kitsune player and I'm on the ground. He's gonna try to combo me. As you see, if I spam the X button, there's nothing you can do but miss his combo. There's gaps in almost every combo in the game. Aside of like sand or dough, I give you a chance to escape with the X. But when you have the X also paired up with Ken tricking, it's almost impossible to kill a Portal user. Oh, and on top of that, Portal has an M1 dash move, the F and the M1, making me virtually impossible to hit. And that is why the best players in the world use Portal, and why it's the best fruit in all of Blox Fruit's PvP. Let me know what you think of my tier list. Comment your thoughts. These are ordered. Some may be able to switch here and there. But overall, I hope you enjoyed the official Blox Fruit tier list. And until next time, later days.